Alright guys, so as I talked about earlier, possibly doing some Slayer progress videos, I have in fact decided to do that. So I just finished my 1500th and 50th task in a row. That is a lot of tasks. You know, over 75% of the way now to 2,000 total tasks. And it was Water Fiend, so I got 172 Crimson Charms, some pretty decent loot I would say. My next task is Firewatch. I'm going to cancel that. I'm not a huge fan of Firewatch, and I have plenty of points. So if there's any tasks that I just don't want to do, I'm not going to do it. Next task after that is Skeletal Wyverns, which is a great task. I am indeed going to do that one. And we'll just price check really quick. The main thing I have to price check here is probably just the water orbs. I did take only one bank trip actually, but I did bank like a whole bunch of, you know, water talismans and stuff like that. So the price check would probably be more around 450, 500k total for the task. But overall, very good charm loot. Alright, so I just finished with my Aritz task. I don't remember exactly what task I left off with, but I did a couple tasks without recording because there's a lot of background noise and this mic just picks up everything. It's quite frustrating sometimes. So I'm going to go grab myself a new task and then I will price check. I think I had 136 Aritz, so 136 Arit bones that I need to check, even though I did bank midway through tasks. So that's going to make the price check a little bit inaccurate. Alright, come on Kurodel, be a bro. And we get mutated Geneticos. Well, that's not the best task in the world, but it's also not the worst task in the world, so I'll go ahead and do that one really quick. Well, first let's price check how much I made this Aritz task. Alright, just be aware this price check isn't going to be 100% accurate because I did bank a lot of stuff that's not going to be completely represented, but overall I made about 3 mil that task, which I would say is pretty good. The Arit bones, of course, are very expensive because of the Auras. They're like 12k each. So every time I get an Aritz task, that's very, very good profit. Hoping for more of these soon. Alright guys, so I finished up my Mutated Geneticos task here. I did in fact pick myself up a Whipvine, which are skyrocketing price right now because of that legacy mode. Beta that comes out, and hopefully those, you know, maintain a decent value. That'd be kind of nice. The profit of this task wasn't amazing, only about 470k. And it was also a range task, which unfortunately means that I didn't get any XP towards the 200 mil defense. But, oh well, hopefully we'll get a better task next time. Done with a automaton's task. Unfortunately no gloves' task or anything, but I think the loot overall was pretty decent. Automaton tasks usually tend to pay quite a bit even if you don't happen to get any gloves. So 700k there, I'm definitely not upset with that, especially because it only took about, I don't know, 20 minutes or so to get that 700k. But let's go back to Kurodel, and I'm kind of feeling the Celestials or Water Fiend's task. Either one of those tasks would be great. Alright guys, I just finished a Skeletal Wyverns task, which is pretty great. Got a good amount of crimsons. It only took like 25-ish minutes and I got 80 crimsons, which is pretty decent crimsons per hour. And I'm going to price check how much the bones are. I don't remember the exact amount of Skeletal Wyverns, but I believe it was about 80-ish. Alright, I got the bones, looked back on the clip, and it was actually 84 Wyverns, so just about exactly 300k, which isn't great money per hour. So Wyverns aren't amazing cash-wise, but they are pretty good crimsons and very, very good Slayer and Magic XP as well, or Defense XP in my case. And it looks like I have about 8.2 mil to go till 200 mil, so time to get another task from Kurodel. Dang it, another not magic task. I've been getting like pretty much primarily range tasks, which there aren't very many range tasks, but I've been getting the ones that there are just like non-stop. I just want 200 mil defense. Come on, Kurodel. Okay, I finished my Necreals task. The loot wasn't all that great. The only good thing about Necreals is they're very, very good XP, and it's also a very fast task, like 80k worth of loot. And also, I always turn in the contract for GP, so another 80k there, so like 160k made in, I don't know, 15 minutes, something like that. Necreals are a very, very fast task, and one of like the top 5 or 6 fastest XP in the game if you use Ascensions. Ascensions just are great there. If you use Magic or Melee, it's not quite as good, but this is one of those rare tasks where Ascensions is by far the best style to use. Little known fact, but anyway, let's go pick up a new task. Alright, Kurodel, be a bro. Water Fiends or Celestials would be amazing right now. Ooh, what a bro. Celestial Dragons. No defense XP, but still a wonderful, wonderful task. Okay, that Celestials task took a really, really long time. These things just take a long time to kill, but they also give like 977 Slayer XP each, so it's pretty beast. I'm going to price check in just a second, but I think these are about 118k-ish XP per hour. It's pretty good. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and price check here. I know I had a task of 132. I only have 130 Dragon Bones, but I buried 2 of them by accident. But anyway, we price check and it comes out to about 2 mil, which isn't amazing considering it took over an hour to actually do this task, but I also got 208 Crimsons, which is absolutely epic and a really good amount of XP. Okay, let's get another task, and that task will be Ice Strike Worms. I'll take that one. Pretty good XP. Not very good money or charms, but it is some pretty good defense XP. And we'll end off kind of this Slayer log here. Looking at under 8 mil XP to go, I did finally break down and put my ranged on defense just to kill off this last 8 mil XP. So it's probably going to take another, I don't know, at least a week of good Slayer to get that done. I would say at most I gain like a mil XP a day, so maybe over a week, but still, we'll see how long it takes me, but hopefully I will eventually get that 200 mil defense completed. And yeah, thank you guys. Stay tuned for future Slayer logs, I guess, and farewell.